What's going on, y'all? Gazer Beam 2K Gust to Win podcast, episode 4 here. Co-host Steuben in the building. Steuben, talk to the people.
Yo, how's it going, everybody?
Steuben, nice week, good week, nice weekend?
Busy. We did two streams at In the Zone this week. Did the monthly Saturday tournament, which honestly I felt like I could do better. My throat was raw after 6 hours of commentary, and I really just wanted to play the entire time with Indy coming up. So
Indy's what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, 2 weeks away basically.
So yeah, you got to start getting some practice
little
in,
less
man.
than since it's Sunday. Yeah, I'm not streaming the next 2 Thursday nights at the shop. I'm just gonna play.
Okay, yeah, you got to start getting some practice in.
Yeah.
Today, our guest of win. If you look below us, below us, you will see a very accomplished player now. She's starting to get more accomplished as she starts to play more. This is the Lindsay Rose Cup. Linty, who do you want to be?
I'll be whoever, Lindsay, Linty, whichever.
Now, how do you pronounce your last name, like officially?
Rose Cup.
Honestly, swear to Arceus.
And I swear to Arceus, like, unless my parents are playing the biggest prank of me, like, of all time, they have always told me it's pronounced Rose Cup. I know there's, like, some crazy letters, like a number 7 in there, but, like...
I swear I saw a V in there one time, and like a Q.
A
they
7?
told me... Yeah, no, they told me it's pronounced Rose Cup, like a rose in a cup. So again, unless they're playing like a huge prank on me, that's it.
And then the Linty just comes from just...
The Linty came from, back when I was doing my bachelor's, I had a group of friends where we would do game night, which actually was just us partaking in adult activities with beverages involved, and we were playing Scrabble. And one of my friends had turned the little, like, the bench that you have in Scrabble with, you put like your little cubes on it or your little squares. They had turned it around and it said Linty, and he pointed to me and just like with this like just stare in his eye just goes Linty. And we all just thought it was hilarious. We thought it was the funniest thing in the world. So
They're just kind of stuck and you rolled with it ever since then.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of like if somebody like with like a slur or a mumble with like Lindsay, like, you know what I mean? So like I get it.
I get that.
Yeah.
Now, Steuben,
Instead of
like
Rocky calling for "Hey, Adrian," it's like
yo, Lindsay.
Hey, Linty. Yeah,
hey, now, Steuben, are you ever gonna tell the story of your name, where it came from?
I have. I can't on this podcast because if we ever get monetized on YouTube, it's too risky for YouTube. So catch me on a normal stream, and I'll say it again for the 30th time.
Okay, so introductions out the way. This is a Linty Rose Cup, part of the Shuffle Squad, correct?
Yes.
Who all are the members of the Shuffle Squad now? Who are they?
We got PJ, who's the manager, John, who's the owner and does a lot behind the scenes for us. We have Zach Lesage, Michelle Babin Lesage, Logan, who people might recognize as Anti. He's the one who's winning pretty much every single tournament on Limitless.
Yeah, he's ripping it up.
Not Anti. Oh, jeez.
Oh my, and Cal Connor.
Oh, and you guys
there's a new member.
Yeah.
Is there not?
Yeah.
LDF.
LDF is like tight with the two of us. I can't wait till we can get him on here. So that's super exciting.
Yeah, we're super, super excited about it.
I feel as if I'm tight with LDF. I actually have him featured in a YouTube video I created, if anyone's interested. So
excuse me, Gazer. He played at almost all of the single prize showdown tournaments. Thank you.
I think Lindsay's the real one to side with him. She's actually a member of, they're teammates now. So, but Lindsay, anything else you want to tell the people out there in podcast land? Anything we should know about you? Anything we need to know about you?
Yeah, I mean, we'll do like a full-on interview in a little bit here, but
I guess not anything.
If you had to like pick one thing that sets you apart from other people in the Pokemon sphere, what is it?
I could just say the fact that I'm a female, but I feel like that's too like whatever. But I guess like a fun fact about me is that I have narcolepsy.
Okay.
That's very interesting. So
yeah.
What happens?
Well, I am medicated for it, and like I'm getting treatment for it, so I'm managing it all right. But in a world where I'm not medicated, I do not have cataplexy, which is what like everyone thinks people with narcolepsy just like fall asleep. Cataplexy is actually when your body loses all the muscle tone. Like it's like when you fall asleep, there's like this neurotransmitter that gets released that prevents you from acting out your dream. So like when that doesn't get released and someone's sleeping, that's where like sleepwalking happens, right? So with people with narcolepsy, that neurotransmitter can get released while they're awake. And so it's like their muscles kind of just like fully just like almost like lock up, and you kind of just like, it looks like you fall asleep, but you don't.
Wow.
But I would be really tired all the time. I would have trouble falling asleep, oddly enough, but I would also like be asleep all the time. And it's not very fun when you're not diagnosed, but ever since I've been diagnosed, I've been getting treated for it. So it's really not too much of an issue. But that is a fun little fact.
I always think of the Third Eye Blind song, if you've ever heard that one.
Which one?
What song?
Narcolepsy. It's like their very first album. I've always loved that song, and now like it kind of makes a little bit more sense if you listen to it and like read the lyrics.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah, I mean everybody thinks of like the one song, do. No man, whew, they have like such deep stuff. Other than that.
Okay, Steuben, mark this down in the timer. Let me step away for a sec. I think Jazzy has the door open, and then we'll get right back into rapid flow. Okay.
You're good. You're good. Well, I actually don't even know what time you started recording. I just have your stream up time. I'll figure it out. I'll wave my arms like this, and when I go through the video, I'll know when to go backwards. If I'm just skipping through it really fast. I need to fix this channel point redemption too, if it lets me. I know, Nixter, it's okay.
Okay. She was telling a friend happy birthday on FaceTime. And they're all excited. Oh, happy birthday. They're all excited. I'm like, oh no, they're loud.
I figured like you were, getting up for like a crisis or something.
No, it was, I didn't want the background noise, and right. This is a professional kind of thing, right?
Before we resume, I mean, sometimes it is, and except for these even number episode weeks. Your channel point redemption's still kind of not.
So I might as well fix that. Yeah. I just turned it back on. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't edit it. I didn't want to do a whole lot of type.
It needs to be like a typey any kind of thing.
Yeah. I turned off all the other redemptions, and I was like, when I turned that one, I was like, oh, I need to fix it. And I didn't want to do it during the cast, so I'll do it now.
No, it's okay. You're good. Should be Gucci once you fix that. But yeah, you told me to like take a note of what time, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't even know when you started recording, because I have access to your uptime. I don't have your recording time.
Oh, it's all recording. It's going straight to Twitch.
Oh, I'm just gonna steal your VOD.
Yeah, just rip the whole VOD. Yeah.
Yeah. Then all right, then 22 minutes.
All right, Lindsay, you doing okay?
Doing great.
So far, so good. Okay, let me fix this channel redemption.
Yeah, sorry for Gazer.
Of course, it's Gazer.
We don't want to hold you up forever.
No, it is okay.
Let's see. Viewer. Okay, there it is. That should fix it. So if anyone wants to ask the pod a question, only 5 channel points. Very cheap to do so. All right, we can resume whenever you're ready. We're going on the rapid flow, right?
Yeah, you have a couple, yeah?
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll get into it. So, Miss Rose Cup. This is a segment we like to call a rapid flow. We ask you 5 questions, quick succession. No time to think about it. Just say the first couple things that come to your mind. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, let's get it. I guess I have the first question. I'll start off. Pikachu or Raichu?
Pikachu.
They're not in order. What did you do? Okay. Kind of sleeves, deck blocks, and play mat do you have on your main deck right now?
Sleeves, Dragon Shield, Lagoon, dual mat.
Ooh, yeah,
What deck box? This purple one, the whatever brand that is with the things that come out.
Ultra Pro.
Ultra Pro.
Okay.
And Matt is this really cute like Gyarados, like it's like the wave, like the art, the wave. It's like the wave version of Gyarados.
Okay.
I wish I knew
Daisy.
what any of that meant. I need to start playing more in real life. Next questions. Fruity candy or chocolate candy?
Fruity candy.
Okay.
All right, this is a weird one. PTCGO, PTCGL, or webcam?
Webcam.
I know the Shelf Squad's been doing some webcam tournaments. I need to hop in those. And last question.
Yes.
Urshifu or Whimsicott?
Urshifu.
Urshifu. She's on the Whimsicott bandwagon. She's not on. Okay.
We totally didn't make that question before we knew the results.
Not at all. This was always part of the schedule. Yeah.
No, totally not preemptive.
No, this had nothing to do with what recently happened this weekend. Steuben, tell him what happened this weekend.
Oh yes, the European International Championships in Frankfurt, Germany. 500 and something or 600 and something odd Masters Division players.
Sheesh.
The first international with Pokemon Go. What? In addition to Poke and VGC and TCG and all of the different age divisions. And it was unexpected with the top 8.
Yeah.
With 5 Urshifu decks, Rapid Strike specifically, coming through. With Gustavo Wada taking the dub, being a back-to-back EUIC champion. Not unexpected for Gustavo to do well, but with just the amount of Urshifu that like really came through this weekend with all the prevalence of Mew. Just kind of like, I feel like it kind of opened up the format even more, and now like the things that I were thinking about for like Indy are out the window. And I'm not quite sure where to go from there.
Yeah.
We had Frank Persick with a crazy hot run with Whimsicott, really good meta call, and Frank's already known for crazy decks and just being a really good dude in general, so congrats to him for being the finalist. But the rest of the top 8, we had one Mew, one Sylveon that also technically had Urshifu in it, so like is that like 5.5 Urshifu decks? I don't know. But yeah, what a weird spread. What do you guys think?
I mean, in a climate where Mew is like basically everywhere, especially online on PTCGO, or if you play PTCGL, it's online there. Or just some of the last, like the very first tournament regional that came back, it was Mew. Mew was was that the first or second? But no, yeah, it's weird in a climate where it seems like Mew is everywhere, especially online with PTCGO or PTCGL if you're playing that. Who's playing that? And even in one of the very first regionals that came back, Mew was a winner. It seems like you wouldn't even want to touch Urshifu or anything fighting type. But we had, was it 5?
5?
Was it 5 in the top 8?
5.5 if you really want to count that Sylveon that has it in there.
Yeah, it's definitely a bold call. You expect to see like more Dark Box, Dark Arceus maybe, a lot of dark things, a lot of darkness. But no, that's a bold call. Lindsay, what do you think about that?
I feel like they had the success of like seeing the Liverpool deck and just like, well, if it could do this, then why can't it do all these other things? And I feel like that's the route they went with it. A lot of the list that did good, they also played like a handful of one-of cards. So
that
kind of crazy to really see it all.
That gives you a lot of different techs, but it's so hard to pull off sometimes. You need to know exactly what you need for that situation.
Yeah,
I mean,
feel
you
like
see, like, go ahead.
It's like good players have to do that. I feel like I've been the exact opposite. I literally earlier today was doing the math on calculating the probability of me being able to get an Arceus my turn 1, like in the first 7 cards. Like I was literally like adding cards and doing the math to try to see like what percentage it would be for me to get an Arceus my first turn.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't have that kind of like big brain for those Urshifu decks. Like the Urshifu deck that we were playing, and like this is the deck that we were talking about that I wouldn't give away a couple weeks ago, is that it was partially Arceus, partially Urshifu, partially Dark, but not IntelliOnline based whatsoever. And it's kind of been blown out of the window now, and a few people actually played something similar that made it in the day 2 already. So the sauce is out there. It's over with.
Tell us about it.
It was also featured by 2 different players on our stream yesterday. So if anybody like that follows, they can go figure that out and steal it. So kind of rough. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where to go forward. I feel like, do we just see more Mew again in the future now, or what? Like,
Well, you would think Mew doesn't stop getting played, right? You think Mew's one of the
no,
best deck in
no.
the format. It doesn't
I
stop.
feel like I feel like it's safe for some people to just stick with it. If they've already had it, they've already played it. If you're good at the sequencing for Mew, then if you run hot, right?
Yeah, basically. And Mew's almost. A lot of people say it's brain dead. Like you have to be smart enough to do it, but you kind of know what have to kind of ration
Oh,
what you use,
by
right?
far, it's the hardest deck to play well. Honestly,
You can be brain dead, like you can play it with that mindset. Like you can play it and not know what you're doing, but because like the way that the deck is set up, you can still win games with it, but like
Yeah.
you're still not going to be successful playing against good players with it.
Yeah, you can full on unga bunga it and still get dubs, but as soon as you hit a good player, your career's over with.
Unga Bunga,
It's,
that was probably the ADP, right? ADP Zashi.
Unga
That's Unga
bunga was
Bunga.
Plant Stamp, pre pandemic. Plant Stamp was the unga bunga term.
I lose
back in
game.
the
I have
day.
one prize. I mean, you have one prize.
One of my
I plant stamp.
one of my League Cup wins was with Guardian, and it was just unga bunga Plant Stamp the deck. If you could successfully get energy in play and just keep going every turn, you were good to go.
You have two prizes. I plant stamp. You lose. Well, we have that coming back in the form of is it Roseanne? No, Roxanne.
Roxanne, yeah,
Roxanne.
Roxanne. It's not you get they get 2 cards, you get 6, but they have to be under 3 prizes remaining. So
That's pretty
depending
interesting too.
On how the prize trade folds out in a game, that's just really going to break it or make it.
Well, I feel like if you're playing something with a VMAX, you give up a VMAX, and then boom, Roxanne, right?
Yeah, I feel like it'll be a really successful one of with the Inteleon engine for the most part. Like knowing when to play Roxanne is really going to make a difference versus just like having 3 or 4 in your deck like people would play Marnie and 3 or 4 ofs.
Now, speaking of Inteleon and that whole line, I seen them in the last regional, the EUIC. I seen Inteleon and Sabo and all them, but I also seen an uptick in Bibarel, the Beaver. You guys see that too?
Yeah, a lot of Bibarel, which I mean it's good. If you can keep your hand down and drop cards, you can more consistently find a way to keep your hand full. It's cool. It's a lot easier than playing a bunch of one-offs in Inteleon for some people too.
Yeah, I like the Beaver because if you get your hand down, like you said, you draw, you'll eventually hit what you're looking for. More likely than not. Inteleon feels kind of like, I don't want to say one-timey because you have scoop up net and everything, but it's only that one singular card. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think
Inteleon line's more reactive to your like how your opponent's playing versus Bibarel, or like where you're just like trying to consistently do the same thing over and over again. The one thing I saw this weekend that I really liked was people playing Peony with the Bibarel, though. So like you could just Peony your hand away, grab your Evolution Incense or whatever trainer card you needed, and then draw your hand completely up to 5 after playing both. I really did like seeing that told together that way.
Yeah,
I do feel like it does add consistency because you have to play so many cards with the Inteleon line, like the Inteleon line itself with the 4 Sobbles, the 3 or 4 Drizz, the 1 or 2 Shady Dealings Inteleon, a quick shooting Inteleon. Then you have to add in like all the. It's a lot.
Yeah, scoop up nets and everything.
It's a lot less cards for the Bibarel line for sure.
But you're guaranteed to get the 1 or however many cards you are looking for.
Exactly what you need at the exact time. Yeah.
Pros and cons of both sides.
Yeah, I'm starting to lean more towards Beavers. I've been running a couple decks where I try to focus on, like you said, like a Peony or I have a deck that runs Rose. It sounds kind of weird. You use Rose, you power up your VMAX, and then you just redraw your hand to 5. If you get a couple Beavers out, you're good to go. So I don't know. It's 6 in one hand and half a dozen in another. Is that the same? That's how it goes.
Give or take, depending on how many you're really going to play. But yeah, you have more room for multiple cards versus just one-offs. And honestly, I feel like it's more like a playstyle decision versus like just deck building in general too.
Yeah, good point. Fair point. But yeah, in this last international championship, I've seen a few names that we're used to seeing, and of course it was won by Sawawada. They're now back-to-back winners, correct? They won in 2019, is that correct?
Yep, yep, the last one that was there.
And and now they went back to back. I've talked to Gustavo a couple times. They've been on my stream. They rated me a couple times. Definitely a good guy. Definitely a good player. But a few other names I've seen. We seen Pedro Torres do very well, didn't we?
Yeah. Sinichi, as they're known here on Twitch. Yeah, he did really well.
Mm-hmm. And then a local person, semi-local to you, Frank.
Yeah,
right.
Frank, Filthy Frank. Not Filthy Frank.
Filthy Frank. That's what that's called. No.
I wish. No, it'd be cool. It'd be that. Come on, Filthy Frank.
You walk into a shop
playing Pokemon. Come on.
You walk into a shop.
That'd be real.
Is that Filthy Frank? Filthy Frank, get over here, man.
No. I mean, yeah, he's Cleveland's an hour away. He's a Cleveland-ish resident. So I mean, like, he's played in a lot of things that I've personally ran as a TO in the past, League Cups and challenges and such, and always seen him in other events in the past. Now that we're starting to get events, maybe we'll get lucky and get cups again, and it'll be a good time. But yeah, I mean, hot deck choice with that Whimsicott.
You're not lying.
Unexpected. Really good meta call, like we said earlier.
Yeah, good meta call, but I'm still not a huge fan of it. Lindsay, what do you think about Whimsicott? I'm not a...
I think it's cute. I think you have to be a really, really good player to do like Frank, obviously. Like, Frank is a really great player. I think you have to be a really great player and really know the deck to be able to do super, super well with it, in my opinion. And just kind of really know the different matchups, obviously, which, I mean, that's for every deck.
Yep.
I just think Frank made a great meta call, and I think he played well. I think he just knew the deck so well, played it.
Yeah, that's true.
Played it insanely well.
Yeah, even if a deck's not spectacular or a card's not spectacular, if you know how to play that deck and the matchups you have and where your outs are and what to do, you can make a good run with it. So trust me, I know. I played a lot of Gengar Mimikyu.
Mm-hmm.
Gengar Mimikyu tag team. It wasn't the best card, but I knew my matchups. I knew how to make it work. I knew what I needed to do, and I won a few games with it. So yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on Whimsicott, Stu?
I think it's okay. I don't know if it'll see repeat success as hot as it ran this weekend. I feel like people might hop on it. The whole bandwagon mentality might take in, and then people will just find a way to just play around it or counter it. But then at the same time, like, all these Urshifu decks, sure, you can get hit for weakness by it, but like, they don't play any. Like, they play a couple special energy, but they're not like super reliant on it. It's like, you can still have those really strong Moltres turns and get around it with everything else. So it,
Well, I mean, now with Arceus,
I feel like I don't think it'll be like a one-hit wonder per se, but I don't think it'll do as good as it did this weekend. And I mean, there were a lot of them. Not a lot, but a handful of those Whimsicott decks, and like the top technically like 71 or 72 for day 2.
I did see one.
And I think a lot of the people that played it are also playing Frank's list that he gave them. So
he spilled the sauce too early, huh?
Yeah, I think he gave it to people intentionally, like, hey, this is a good deck, you should play this. That's just what he's known to do. He's done it before. Like, his deck has won events where he hasn't won the event, and this time, like, second place, that's pretty awesome.
That is
definitely deserving, for sure.
That is,
especially when you're that creative and like that good as a deck builder, to be able to finally get that like high finish.
So you're saying I have a chance then? I'm pretty creative.
Yeah, Gazer, totally. Totally.
But hey, any other follow-up thoughts on this past international championship that happened?
Nothing for me.
Nothing I can think of.
Okay. So, we do have our special guest here. This is the Gust Win podcast. We have our special guest, Lindsay Rose Cup, whatever you want to call her. Just call her Rose Cup if you want to. Apparently, that's her last name. But Liz, we do have a few questions for you. This is the part of the segment where we're going to interview you and just get to know more about you. So, opening question: how'd you get into Pokemon cards?
I collected them when I was a kid, actually. So I had my collection growing up. I was a 90s baby. Loved Pokemon, played all the games, collected the cards. Yeah, that's... But I never really played them.
Okay.
Didn't play them at all, actually, really.
So then you started playing more recently, like recent history then?
Yes.
Okay.
It was around like August of 2021 is when I would, like, my parents had their house here, and they were thinking about selling it, and they asked me to come and like clean out some of my old stuff. And I'd found one of my old cards, which was a 90s holographic Dragonite. I think it was Japanese. I can't remember, but I found that card, and I was like, oh my god, like I wonder if like all my Pokemon cards are here. And then I just kind of thought like I kind of just want to learn how to play the card game. Like I need a hobby. I want something fun to do, something like fun and nerdy that I like. Like I'm a huge nerd. Like I'm a big Nintendo, Zelda person.
Okay.
So I just kind of wanted something to do, I guess. And so I tried to do like a little bit like research on it, see like what I could find, see like where do I even like freaking get Pokemon cards now, all that. And
I mean, 2021, like in that summer, yeah, that's definitely a hard time to find cards too, especially with like the mega influencers, not even like Pokemon influencers, just like the mega influencers out there like hyping it up and
yeah,
trying to like push product and grading and everything like that. So yeah, just being able to walk into a store and find it was probably a mission in itself at that time.
yeah. And so I pretty much, it was like October, November-ish. I really sat down with one of my friends and we just learned how to play IRL.
Okay. Like theme decks or build your own?
We kind of started with like the basic like theme deck stuff, and then like I didn't really know like what a deck, like what it meant to build a deck. I didn't like I I almost built it kind of like a GLC deck. Like I didn't like know what to do. I just had like a bunch of cards thrown in there.
Okay.
And then I found a place to go play locals at, and I just got absolutely bodied. But everyone there was really nice, and they kind of helped me understand what I need to know. And then I started playing online in like December.
Yeah, I can only hope that TPCI gives us official local play again, because a lot of people like just don't know where to start. And honestly, like that's where you kind of have to, like that's where you get your feet wet, you make friends, you get connections, and you learn that you've built a pile of crap and it's time to reevaluate it and go from there. And I mean, no, I mean it's weird. We've had new people come into the shop I work at, and like this guy came in and bought product, and I was like, oh yeah, we do Pokemon casual play this day, and we have tournaments on these days. And he came into the casual play after talking to me that a couple of days before, and he's like, yeah, I built this deck with like Mew and Genesect. And I was like, oh, okay, you built a Fusion Strike deck, whatever, cool. Mew VMAX is really good. He came to play, and I mean, nope, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be at all. He had Smeargle in it, and he had Ice Cube, and he had basic fire energy, and
Yo, drop the list.
I wish I would have been able to like play against him to like see how like what he had going on. It didn't work out too well for him.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I mean like
I followed you to the
shows though that like people just like are attracted to like Mew and Genesect and Mayoletta as Pokemon and like want to play that deck, and then he didn't have anything competitively viable, even though it's like some of the best cards in the format currently. And I was just like, we really need real local play to get people to come in and like open their eyes and show them what's going on again.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about that list. Basic fire energy?
Yeah, I didn't see everything, but when I walked over to like kind of get an idea what was going on with multiple people playing different games, I was just like,
or Choreo and Magma Basin, let's get it.
He didn't know there was no Magma Basin or nothing like that. Like it's just, I was just like, I had to like his opponent that was just like, so what's this Smeargle doing? He like picked it up and read it, and he's just like, oh, okay, here, you can put that back on your bench now, thank you. Like he was just like, I'm over this. But I mean, he played with him. He gave him pointers afterwards, and gave him some feedback and whatnot. And the dude came out and he's like, "Can I get some double turbo energies?" And like, you sure can, bud.
You're like,
Now you get it.
So
and
like,
you're right though. That's exactly what
that's the first step.
Yeah, that's exactly what more people who are trying to get into the game need. They need someone who could, like you said, the other opponent was like, hey, you might want to get some double turbo energy. Hey, you might want to take out that fire energy. Hey, you might want to, someone not just to crush them, but someone to, help build them up.
Yeah, and I mean, I get it. Not everybody wants to like build BDIF and play meta and like be super competitive or whatever, but like to have the drive to see like, oh, this is what I'm doing wrong. I could get better this way. This is
Yeah.
a lot of fun. I'm enjoying myself. Let's do this.
Yeah, I'm sure we all can think back to
without
our first decks.
without sanctioned play locally, I feel like it's just rough. I mean, look at the attendance numbers for all the regionals and everything, and like capping out in a matter of minutes.
Yeah.
People struggling to get in, and like if local play would pop off again from Pokemon, I can only even imagine like what next year's like numbers would look like for regionals.
People are dying to play. People are dying to play. But yeah, I'm sure we'll think back to our first couple decks that we made, and we had 25 energy in there, and probably one of trainers, and we probably looked at. I know for a fact I looked at Professor's research, or back then it was called Oak. Back in my day, I was like, Professor Oak, discard your hand, draw. It's like, why would I discard my hand? I'm not playing this. So we've all had moments like that. But I mean, it takes someone who hopefully has some type of local shop that's open, that's having tournaments, like you said, local league play, that can actually take us under their wing and say, hey, you should play this card, or hey, that's probably not a good card to play, or hey, let me help you get started. I've done that online before, and Steuben, you have too. But I mean, real life and online is completely different.
Oh yeah, it's night and day, man. Night and day.
So Lindsay, you said you started playing online in December, correct?
Correct.
Okay, PTCGL. When did you enter your first tournament? Do you remember what it was? Do you remember when? Your first online limitless tournament?
Oh, actually, it might have. I would have to look it up. It might have been sometime in November, but because like I didn't have anything online. Like I had my account, but I didn't have anything online. So like I didn't play much online, like at all. Like I was just playing IRL. I can't remember if I did a limitless tournament in like November, but like I didn't even like know how limitless worked. So like I didn't even like know how to like check in or anything like that. But my first like actual like tournaments where I was like, oh, I have a deck, Leafeon. And those were in December, like early December, when I got COVID, and I was just playing online nonstop.
I mean, you had nothing else to do. So,
yeah,
of course.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Of course.
Bored locked up at home quarantining. Like, yeah, I get it. It makes sense. Was it really hard for you to get the cards you wanted online? At first, like not knowing like the trade system and stuff.
Yes, it was at first, and then I had found like Card Cavern and like Po Town. I was like, oh, I can get codes, like that's how, and then I can like trade like the codes, and
yeah,
so that's kind of where I was like, oh.
I wish the system like didn't exist this way. Like I wish live would have been a good thing to give people ease of access for cards, to really get them into playing and just help people like breed themselves up as competitive players and just grow. But the system that it is now with PTCGO, it's awful, and we're stuck still. Like we're completely still in limbo with everything. They're not completely transparent with all of this.
Yeah, I wish it was easier to get just get started on PTCGO. You just you have the theme deck, you have to grind, and just buy a theme deck in the shop that you can't take anywhere else to do anything else with, and it can be tough. It's grindy and it's tough. So
yeah, the cards they give you are from like 2014, 2015 when you first make your account. Like what? Like Mental Might, like Miltank and Gallade. Like it's not anything good, and it probably pushes more people away than it does get people involved.
Which is why I didn't really play online at all until like that. That like December era where I was like, okay, I have the time to grind.
Nothing else to do.
I have money now. I can buy some codes, and
so the IRL play is really like what pushed you to want to play more then.
Yeah, which is I do feel really lucky that I was able to like learn how to play IRL, because I didn't like. I will say it's been a little tough sometimes going back to IRL and like having the like PTCGO brain where I'm like forgetting to do things.
I can't even like I'll stream PTCGO and like I know what I'm doing half the time, and then like I'm also reading the chat and I'm like goofing off and having fun.
Oh my gosh!
And then I'll just completely like I'll be distracted. I'm like, oh shit, I meant to click this instead. And it's like it's not the same when you're sitting down. You've got cards in your hand. You can pick up your opponent's discard pile and look through it. You can see their board
like
state
accidentally
better.
click something.
There's no like if you could the worst thing you can do IRL is like shuffle your hand into your deck with Marnie or say the wrong attack name.
To like use like the stadium or something.
Yeah,
or
like if your opponent's got a stadium that's like not yours, it's like, oh crap, I could have used your Rose Tower, or I could have used your Turf Field Stadium to search through my deck for whatever reason.
Yeah, cards don't glow in real life. That's the part that sucks. PTCGL, they
Well,
glow and they say,
glow
okay,
if you buy bling.
yeah, if it glows, I can click on it. I can do this and that. Yeah, real life it doesn't. I have to say, I don't know if I'm the only one. I've played, 4 weeks now, about a month now, back in real life, and I have not crow-batted or done anything, under path to the peak. Online, I do it at least once a stream. What is it? What's that about? Why does that happen?
It's really small on the screen, and you probably how big is your monitor?
16 by 9.
That's the aspect ratio.
Oh, well then I have no idea.
All right, how big is the window of the game?
16 by 9.
All right, on to the next. Oh, Gazer.
But no, I've pathed under my I've crow-batted under path and done other things under path before, but in real life I haven't found myself doing that.
Yeah, I feel like just playing IRL, you're more engaged, like in the entire game and the board state and everything. Like
with streaming too, it's
mm-hmm.
You're looking at chat, you're hanging out with chat, you're getting distracted. I know me, I get so distracted by it, and I'll click all sorts of stuff. I'll do all sorts of crazy stuff when I'm playing online.
I feel like the chat is more fun than the game sometimes when it comes to the CGO. Like I honestly think it's the same way. Like I think the chat is just so much more fun and way more important than the actual game you're playing.
Yeah, and like you're worried about being like entertaining, and then you're like, oh, I guess I'm throwing for content, and
yeah,
that's what you have to turn it into. Like, oh, this is just it's for you guys.
Like we had For the Win on the last episode. If you've ever seen his content on YouTube, and he has live stream, but like he doesn't live stream for his matches that are recorded. So like I feel like they're at an advantage for YouTube sometimes when it comes to that, because like if you're not reading a chat and you're not like engaging with it, then you can actually like fully focus onto the game, but at the same time like you're narrating your moves and like pretending to talk to somebody to like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been doing a little bit of YouTube for the Shuffle Squad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you like about doing that so far?
I guess just I wanted to do the YouTube channel kind of before, and I always thought like, oh, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't really know if I want to do that, but now it's like I have a whole team behind me to support me, to help give me ideas, an already established channel, a Canva subscription to make thumbnails, so it's like I get to have like a whole team support behind me, which is
do they edit for you and all that kind of stuff too?
We're doing these like how-to videos, and I'll be recording that early this week, and then they'll be doing the editing for that. But the ones that are like just me playing PTCGO, I edit those. But
okay. Yeah, editing is always like the bane of my existence for
editing.
stuff. I loathe doing it. It's what always put me off from like staying active, like constantly making content, and I'm just like, nah, I don't care half the time. It's rough. So like when they first reached out to you, what was your reaction, and what kind of like questions did they ask you at the beginning? Because that's something that like a lot of people don't have involvement with, is like teams and team building, whether it's like super competitive players with a team and deck building, or it's more of like what you guys are doing with like more information spread.
To be honest, I didn't really know what it meant to be like a part of a team. Like I didn't know what it entailed. I didn't know. If anything, I had questions for that. I just didn't know like what that would mean, or like what I would have to do, or like I was just like, huh? But I was in a Discord with a bunch of people and friends anyways, and PJ being in there, and Zach Lesage being in there, and I had kind of become friends with them over time. And PJ, I guess, had been like watching my streams, watching me play on these limitless tournaments, and he's kind of reached out to me. He was like, hey, I think that you would be a great addition to our team. Just kind of gave me like the little rundown, like I want to help you with your goals in Pokemon, and like let's get you to like you say you want to become a competitive player, like let's get you to be a competitive player. And pretty much the rest is history.
Interesting.
Do you feel like it's been really beneficial for you so far?
Absolutely.
How do you feel if you could imagine a state where you didn't have this opportunity?
I was going to ask that, but yeah.
How would you feel that your direction as a player and like a content creator?
What the differences be? That's what I want to know.
Yeah. How would you,
I
just
feel
hypothetically?
I just feel like it wouldn't have gone much further, if that makes sense. Like it just, with having the support with them and just getting all the opportunities and there's tons of cards that like PJ has like given me on PTCGO just so I could like try out new decks and like play things in tournaments, and just with all of that, it's been so helpful. And then making the YouTube videos on their channel, which is already a very established channel, is just getting my name out there even more. And I mean, it's benefited me in pretty much every single way. And now having a team that I can practice with, and like we talked about, having those people who can tell you like, hey, why don't you try like this in your deck instead of that? Or why just having that support too has also been really great. And we've of course been all testing together, and getting ready for Indy and all that stuff. So it's been honestly more helpful than I could have imagined.
Yeah, I definitely agree that I feel like having a group of people to play with and shoot ideas off, whether it's online or offline, really just helps everybody as a player individually.
And you don't need like a professional Pokemon team for that, of course.
No, if you have a solid, dedicated group of 3 or 4 friends, that's even like perfect enough for a lot of people to snowball ideas off of. Because like if you're just grinding the ladder incessantly on PTCGO, like no one's going to give you feedback. There's no communication between those players.
You have a good deck.
Yeah, people will just BM the emojis and go from there. Like. And again, that just stems back to like having IRL play with helpful and supportive people. It all just comes full circle, and I can only hope, man. My fingers are so crossed, and I'll cross more than fingers if I have to. Come on, Pokemon.
Wait a minute. What are you crossing over there?
My legs, my toes.
Okay. Okay.
Come on, Gazer.
Whew, but no.
Oh, Gazer.
But Linz, I know a few weeks back, maybe it was a month ago, you did a big tournament in IRL, didn't you?
Yeah, yes, I did a couple. We had a couple 1Ks, and we did like this regional prep. It was a regional prep tournament that we just had like a couple weeks ago.
Like, did you play like best of 350 minutes and just kind of go from there?
Yeah. All day.
So your locals that you play like normally are they already like very competitive, or?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Anybody that like if you said a name, we would be able to like, oh, I've heard of them before.
Connor Fenton is he's the manager, one of the managers at that store.
Awesome. Okay, so that's really cool.
Mike Morton. We have like the Cohen brothers, Zach and Josh Cohen. They both won late night a handful of times each, and that's.
So just playing at that, playing there just gonna improve just by there. That's good competition.
Kind of like your snowball then, really. It was like.
Oh yeah, they freaking whooped my butt.
That's gonna improve you. That's gonna make you better, right? I mean, it's made you better. So yeah.
It absolutely has.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, like, and it shows too that like if a store doesn't care, they're not gonna have a community, and they're not gonna have players, and they're not gonna be able to like actually establish anything. And the stores that care, like, it's usually players or player owned or player involved with those stores that like have big success and grow out.
Great. Yeah, they've been really awesome.
So are you gonna lean more towards playing IRL or stick more online? What's your plan here, Lindsay?
I want to do more of the IRL stuff. I enjoy playing IRL more.
Yeah,
it's just more engaging. I do like playing online. I do like streaming. I have a lot of fun doing it. I enjoy it, but I rather I'm so excited for Indy because I can't wait just to play IRL.
Yeah, it'll be your first like true, real big experience, right?
It'll be my first Pokemon event.
Okay, that's exciting for a lot of people too, because like a lot of players that grew up in this online era now, these regionals are their first kit and caboodle getting in there. I mean, like, I've been on both sides of playing and professoring and TOing everywhere, and I mean, like, I've judged at Nats before it was Internats, and you got to get your feet wet. And I mean, how do you feel about it?
I'm terrified.
Terrified.
Indy's in
I'm
2 weeks, right?
absolutely
2 weeks.
Terrified.
Now, are you more nervous for like deck selection, or are you more nervous for just the whole process in general?
Yes.
Just yes.
All right.
Yes. I'm working on the deck. I have selected my deck.
Okay.
I've officially selected my deck.
No leaks.
No leaks.
Good.
I'm just working on the perfect 60. So I've just been doing that, literally doing the like actual math statistics on it of like, which I already said like we're gonna get an Arceus out. So like I'm playing an Arceus deck, surprise. So like I've just been trying to perfect the 60, and really what I think most nervous about is the stamina of like that day of playing a lot of Pokemon.
Steven, about how many rounds is a typical regional? In the day one, at least.
9.
And it's best of
9
3,
is
right?
the magic
9 best
number.
of 3.
Best of 3, 50-minute rounds, give or take anywhere between 10 to 30 minutes between rounds, as well as a lunch break usually after round 3. The lunch break is the thing that murders me every
Really?
event as a judge,
Don't
as a player.
Don't eat carbs.
The lunch break is the worst thing in the world, and what makes me a little bit nervous going back into playing this time around is the mask situation, because normally what kept me alive in a 9-round tournament was drinking water and having snacks throughout the day, and now you can't. You have to go to a designated area, so you either got to like play super fast, get your game done, and then go chill out and have a snack or a drink in the designated space. And that's the one thing I'm nervous for this time around, instead of like what deck do I play? And I mean, like the last times I went to regionals, I played meme decks because I didn't give a crap.
Why?
Because I would just drop and judge side events if they'd let me.
Oh, okay.
I like to do both. It's weird. Not everybody likes to do both. The last regional I played in was Philly 2018.
Oh, it's been a while for you then.
And well, I mean, there hasn't really been any.
Well, I mean, there was the 2019 season.
Well, yeah,
you set that whole season out, huh?
That whole year was really important for me to spend with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the last regional I think was 2018 Philly, and I played Ludicolo Macargo.
Good on Macargo.
So from Celestial Storm,
Good
the
on
reprints
Macargo.
from like the old Sandstorm EX era. So yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Put any card you want on top of your deck.
Mm-hmm. And then you could swing, dance, and draw it, and then you had turning steps to do more damage. And I mean, I went 4-3 with it, and then I dropped after the third loss.
That's not terrible.
What did me in that tournament was the little baby Buzz decks that blew up that weekend.
Oh, baby Buzzwole, I remember him.
The baby Buzzwole, Garbodor, Shrine, Coco, Lugia, like Wombo combo that did me in.
Yeah.
All the single prizers, but anything that wasn't a single prizer deck, those were my dubs. It was a good time.
Now, Lindsay, what are your expectations of heading into Indy? Steven said he went 4-3 playing a meme deck. Do you think you can go better than that, 4-3? What are you thinking? I know you're nervous about everything, but how do you expect you'll do? How do you expect you'll do?
A goal for me is just to make day 2.
Okay.
A goal for me is to have fun.
That's that. There you go.
Like,
yeah,
just go and
that's
have
the best outlook.
Yeah, just to go and have fun. A goal for myself is to make day 2. I wouldn't be super crushed if I didn't. I wouldn't be like super upset or anything. Just as long as I played the best that I could play. Like if I just got screwed over, by statistics and probability and like, coin flip stuff, it's not really anything I can do about that. So
yeah, that happens to everybody anyway. So
yeah.
Have fun, get your feet wet, learn how the experience is, like what it's like to stick it out through the end. I know Pumpkin Amy, it was her first event with Liverpool, and she just wanted to have fun and see what it's like. And I mean, that's the best advice she could probably give us, tell you too.
Yeah, I think the experience would be good for you. You'll get out there and you'll see people who you normally see, through a computer screen, and you'll see them in real life. You're like, hey, it's you. Hey, you. That's the most fun part, right?
Your first regional, that's one hell of an accomplishment.
Man.
So
yeah,
I mean,
that's all I'm really hoping
if that's
for.
your bottom line, then the aim for the moon. Aim for the moon.
I say go out there, see some faces you haven't seen them before in IRL, and have fun. Whenever I start,
I'm
when I go to
really
my
excited
first
to
regional, that's
meet
my goal.
everyone.
So yeah, that's my goal. Just to meet everybody, talk, laugh, joke, have a good time.
I'm excited to meet a lot of people that we've met online. I have a whole box of dragon shields filled with Mareeps and Flappies already like ready to go for everybody to doodle on and give them. So I'm excited for that.
So sheep mail's coming to Indy. Got it.
For free. Yep, just come find me and you can have a random card out of the box.
Meanwhile, you're collecting sheep. I'm collecting monkeys because on
there's
stream,
an Ampharos EX in there, not like the capital EX, but the lowercase EX. So if you get lucky, congratulations,
that's from a different era. That's not even XY. That's wow.
It ain't cheap. It ain't cheap either.
Yeah, you're taking it back. All right. Yeah, you're collecting all the sheep. I'm collecting all the monkeys. I'm getting all the pan sages and pan seers and pan pores.
I thought you hated those.
That's the reason. I'm gonna get them and destroy them all. You see?
That's not right.
Mm-hmm.
That's just, you could just sell that bulk to like Full Grip or somebody and like just come
for
away
$2.
With yeah. All that collecting, you can just make a couple bucks back.
Or I can just destroy them and prove my hatred for them. That's my plan. Hey, you collect your sheep, I'll collect my monkeys. We'll just leave it at that.
I mean, I collect them to give them away to everybody, so that's the difference, man.
But Subin, real quick for Indy, what do you have to do to get ready for it? Like, what else do you have to do? You have 2 weeks.
I'm at the point where I'm just gonna play test at this point. Like, rooms booked, travel's taken care of. Okay. We got our group of friends that's going. A couple of us are going earlier to go be in the professor seminar, even though we're not judging the event.
Are you you're part of that group? You're going early too?
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go to the professor seminar.
And Emily's going with you?
No. She just started her job, so I mean, like, she can't. She couldn't get that Friday off.
Mm-hmm.
And like, sure, it's only a 5-hour drive, but like, to get off work at 5 o'clock and come home and then get in the car and just hustle, then get there late and then be like exhausted that way. That's no way to feel refreshed for 9 rounds. That's going to take you from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. on average.
Well, she could. Oh my gosh, that's a day.
It's a long day for people who haven't played in a regional.
Jeez.
Or an IC. It's a long, grueling day.
Yeah, I've been playing local.
Honestly, like, it's a lot of endurance more than it is.
That's what it sounds like. I've been playing local, and it's 3 rounds, best of 3, and by the end of it, I'm like, I feel okay. This is all right. I could go another couple games, but not. I could probably go 5 rounds, but 9 rounds? Jeez, man.
Plus the time in between, and they're 50-minute rounds, and
boy.
Sometimes the pairings always don't go off. Yeah. Cliff Bars, trail mix, something healthy. Don't load up on like sugar lunch. And candy.
No
and stuff.
Carbs at lunch.
Just straight protein and water. I'm gonna feel weird not being able to pull up my bottle of water beside me between games and just start chugging. That's the thing I'm nervous for.
You kind of gotta bust it to the designated area, and pairings are up in 2 minutes, and you're running to the area to hurry up and just get a swallow of water and just
Yeah.
See, I need to start hydrating now. Otherwise, I'm gonna be sitting there having to pee the entire time and not being able to get up. I'd be sitting here. I would just start misplaying just so I could go to the bathroom.
Just sitting there shaking, like, oh god, I gotta go. Hurry up, dude! Come on, play your game.
Oh my god.
Lindsay, what else do you have to do to get ready for Indy? What else do you feel like you need to get? I know you're testing. You're playing now, trying to get out that Arceus as soon as possible. What else do you feel like needs to be done?
For me, I think I'm just trying to find the most consistent version of my deck. I feel like in a super long day like that, the 9 rounds, best of 3, I feel like consistency is going to be what will help me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you're not aiming to win just to make day 2, something consistent will do it, honestly. If it works and it works most of the time, you're good to go. If you got good matchup spreads, that should be the good way to go. I mean, I don't know how Tord and all these crazy deck builders do it with these 1-ups. I honestly don't, because that's just got to be mental drainage.
But there's a reason why Tord is one of the best players in the world, is because he can do that. He's one of the few that can do that.
That's way above my skill cap. I'm good. I can't. I won't sign myself up to that. There's no way. I'd rather just take something I'm comfortable with and confident in, and then I believe that it's consistent, and I'll do it.
Yeah.
But,
I hear you on that. 21, 22 one-ups in that Urshifu deck? No, thank you.
Yeah.
I like prize checking.
Decks like that. Man. Okay, did I prize my escape rope? Okay, did I prize my...
I mean, you're allowed to take notes. A lot of people don't know it. You're allowed to take notes.
I'm a note taker.
Share that with everyone in case they don't know. You're a professor. You know these rules. This is coming from a former professor. Steuben, let everyone know.
No, not former, just inactive.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect your professorhood.
It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, you're allowed to take notes in a game. You have to have a clean sheet for every match. If your opponent asks to see it, they're allowed to look at it. The judge has to be able to read it as well. It's got to be legible. It can't be in like some sort of like crazy codex or anything like that.
I was about to say, if they can read it, they can see like what I'm prizing. Then I'm gonna make code, so I can't.
Yep, you can't have it in like some sort of like code language or whatever. Now, like the only thing I could say is like you could write card names down, and if you know what you're writing down, like so let's just say, all right, like cool, I prized escape rope, an ultra ball. Blah, blah, blah. You could also just write cards down that your opponent has played and then also mix your prizes into it as like the strategy that I'd always do. So it's just like, oh, cool, I'm prize checking. I'll write down one or two. I'll remember the rest if I can. And then as my opponent plays cards, I'll write down their card names and then I'll keep filling in my prizes and like kind of like sequences and spaces.
And then you know what you have.
Yeah.
And, okay, wow.
And like something I do a lot, especially going against Mew. Like most of them run 3 Sparkle, 3 Boss, 2 Switch, 2 Escape Rope. Or like in the power tablets, I'll like keep track of how many they've used.
Always.
Yeah.
Always count the power tablets.
Just so I know, like, okay, they've like that way I don't have to like keep track. It's hard to remember all that, especially as a newer player. Like I don't get that much in my brain. So like I'd write down, okay, they've used 3 power tablets. Now I know that like they can't knock this out because they need 2 power tablets and a choice spell, or just like having that in mind.
I always count the power tablets. I've learned that with the Mew matchup.
Always count
the power tablets.
The power tablets.
And I mean, you can definitely tell like a bad Mew player from a good Mew player right out of the gate. Like they're just like, okay, cool. I got the battle pass, and they just grab the 2 Pokemon and shuffle. They're like, all right, cool. I'm in for an easy ride here. Because if they don't go through, they don't prize check, you know that they're not worried about like math later on down the line and numbers and the tablets and everything.
Wait a minute,
and a lot of the Mew lists that we've seen now are like they've cut back on like their Rotom phones, they've cut back on the Mew VMAX account they play. So like if you're not checking for that, that second Mew VMAX and it's prized, ooh, buddy.
Who was that on stream? I don't know if you guys saw it. Someone prized I think 2 of their Mew VMAXs, and it was a close game. I have to go back and look at one of the VODs, but yeah, there's some interesting games this past weekend. Had some interesting games, man.
I don't think I saw the one where they prized the Mew VMAX, but that makes me think of SLC finals or semifinals where dude prized both his Gengar VMAXs, and I was just like, oh, he's not even checking his deck for his Gengars. He's just like, I'm in, I don't care. Like at that point, like I feel like at that point you've just got to be mentally checked out to like think that like, all right, cool, you're in it to win it at this point in time. Like, all right, I've made it this far, I don't care anymore. Let's just.
No, he literally said that he didn't check a prize card the entire weekend.
Oh wow.
He's like, if it's prize, it's prize. What is having it prize going to help me do? Like that's what he said during the interview. I was like, man, he's got a point.
I mean, if your deck's consistent, sure, I get that point. But like again, with all these one-offs, like if you're like, okay, cool, in this turn I need Bird Keeper to win, and it's prized, then you have to find another way around it. Like,
his like whole point was, okay, well if it is prized, then like you have to find a way around it anyways. So it's like, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
That's the correct thought process, but maybe the wrong approach to it.
For me, it's I like knowing for like my quick balls and ultra balls, like if I'm able to like if I don't have Palpad in my list and like I feel okay like getting rid of like like one of my supporters that I know I can get back later if I really need it, or like I run Ordinary Rod, and so like I know I can like maybe get rid of a V-Star if I can because I have Ordinary Rod, and like I didn't prize any, just little stuff like that. I feel like it helps me, but maybe other people not so much.
Palpad has been absolutely cracked recently for me. I
told you all. I was just
gonna say, you said if you don't have Palpad in your list, Lindsay, when do you not have Palpad in your list? That's what I'm trying to figure it out.
When do I not have Palpad?
Yeah.
Ever since I ran it in that one Jolteon list, I was just hooked.
I've really liked it recently, like cutting back on the Sharon's Care and the Arceus V-Star decks. just to play one and play a pal pad. It feels perfect at this point.
Love it.
The Jolteon list you're talking about, is that the one you took to the tournament that I ran with Liam Kidd?
Yes.
Yes. If no one knows, back in, was it March? Early March, I believe?
I think it was March, yeah.
Linty won a 70 player tournament on Limitless with Jolteon VMAX, and it was put on by myself and Liam Kidd. Shout out to Liam Kidd, by the way. I think he lives about 2 hours away from me in Sacramento. But Linty, that was a good run you had. We cast your game, we talked through it. You played Jolteon very well. I'm surprised you're not playing it IRL.
It's not good anymore.
Oh, I'd be terrified. Like if I could grab my bag, I'd pull up my Jolteon deck. I still have it together, but I only played it like
and it's
casually.
not even Manaphy. It's the fact that everyone's running fighting techs, and like it's not like you have it unsparse for Jolteon.
Yeah. And
just like the fact, like the V stars. Oh, was it in January? Oh my, I guess it was in January. Time flies.
Sheesh.
Oh, the tournament. The tournament.
Time flies.
Man, it's so that was one of your first big tournaments, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sheesh, and you crushed it. Good job, Lance. But yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, I knew Jolteon. I played Jolteon so much, and it's just I don't know it. Now
so
it's
like
just
everybody in the locals just decided like, all right, let's just screw her over and just start playing Urshifu.
Everyone get your Urshifus out. Come on.
It's just I don't know.
Get your Zapdoses.
The V-Star, it being 2 prizes, is just so much more desirable.
And the HP difference isn't like huge either. That's the crazy part.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 20 HP between the Arceus V-Star and Jolteon VMAX. Yeah, so yeah,
exactly.
That's the crazy part. I'm like, 20 more HP for extra prize? No, thank you.
And like Jolteon, you have to play the badge, so you can't just like, all right, cool, let's try a big charm. Maybe no, you have to play the badge. There's no way around it. Like,
yeah.
I love the deck. I went out of my way when those VMAX boxes came out, and I like went store to store to try and find the alt arts. Because I love those alt arts, and then like now I can't even play the damn deck.
Like, well,
it breaks my heart.
I have it. It's here, but
yeah, I'll play it like casually on like the casual play days against people or whatever, and
I'll play it on the ladder every now and again just to feel something. But
I used to play a lot of Jolteon too. If you look at my Limitless profile, I had about 7 tournaments in a row where I ran Jolteon, and then like you said, you couldn't play it anymore. And it's not even a mana fee. That's the crazy part.
It's like it was at first, but now it's all the fighting decks, and now it's the Urshifu's coming.
Yeah, and I feel like now we're gonna have fighting and mana fee. So Jolteon's just like taking the old dirt nap at this point, because I feel like people finally have to respect it now.
Yeah, if mana fee's not in your deck.
Well, that kind of leads me to our next segment, one of our last segments, stonks. Let's talk about cards that we think are on the rise, playability wise, and also expense wise. Steuben, you had one already, right?
Yeah. I want to beat a dead horse, but Whimsicott, its market value Friday was about 50 cents for the V. The V is now pushing $1.50, but the V Star went from a $2.50 market price on TCGplayer to over $4 now.
Hold on, the V was 50 cents?
The V, yeah, you were able to scoop up for like 48 cents plus your shipping or whatever. You got to factor in the shipping with like TCGplayer.
Yeah, but oh my gosh.
But people are buying it. People are hopping on that wagon. They're buying those cards.
Shout out to our guy Senior Doom. Senior Doom, he called it. He said he thought Whimsicott would do really well in this tournament and in this international championship. He had been playing it online. He said he really likes it. He says he felt like it was going to be something there, and I didn't see it. I was like, nah. And he called it.
Contrary to that, I also believe that he said on Lake of Rage that if Rayquaza did well, he would eat his own shoes or something similar to that.
Did he?
Something like shoes or a shirt or whatever, but yeah, and it didn't. So lucky for him, he doesn't have to worry about eating anything.
Listen, everyone out there who's heading to Indy who can hear my voice right now, please play Rayquaza VMAX. Do well. I want to see Senior Doom eat his shirt, please.
There's been a dude at our locals who's done really well with Rayquaza with Arceus. It's actually kind of cracked. It's been on the streams a few times.
I seen that on one of your streams. Yeah.
Yeah, people have asked for the list on the YouTube VODs, and I'm just like, try and get it from him, but he won't give it away.
Mm-hmm. I seen that. It did fairly well. jumping back into stonks, let me just take a step away real quick. Stupid, in my last local tournament, I went 3-0. I won the local tournament. I won 3 packs. Nothing, 4 packs. Didn't pull anything good. Where's my 5 subs? We had a bet, didn't we?
That was not the last episode. That was the episode before. So no.
So it doesn't.
Sorry.
It didn't carry over.
It doesn't count. No, that was one and done, man.
Oh,
one and done.
Well, okay. What about this upcoming week? What about Wednesday? How about?
No.
But no, heading back into stonks. A card I see that's gonna be played more, and I already had this card in mind, and this weekend kind of just confirmed it. Manaphy. I think people have to start taking on Manaphy now. And I've been seeing the Dunsparce, taking with Arceus because you're worried about fighting an Urshifu, but now I think you have to worry about the Manaphy too. That Rapid Strike Urshifu can just demolish a bench.
Ruin your life.
Yeah, it can. So I think Manaphy's going to see a lot more play now.
Yeah, and I mean, it's relatively cheap. You can probably get them for quarters to 50 cents, depending on like what kind of store you have around you. Let me check the online value of it.
A supporter
not
that I
PTCGL,
saw a
but-
lot of this weekend that I think is going to be really, really big for Indy is Avery.
Yeah, I could see that. I've seen a couple Avery play. Yeah, I could see Avery doing some work now.
That one match that we saw Tord recover from that Avery, I was just like, whoa. I thought like that Avery was like the linchpin in that game, and he played out of it. All credit to him for being the GOAT that he is. But yeah, I think Avery's a really, really clutch choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good in a lot of matchups right now.
So Avery, Whimsicott, and Manaphy may be on the rise. They may be on the rise. So if you guys are listening right now, go grab them while you can. What about a cast form, Lindsay? What about cast form?
Has been insane in the testing I've done with Redacted.
We can't say you can't give us the name of the deck yet.
No,
Okay.
it doesn't have a name.
Oh, okay.
It's just redacted. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna win. I'm just aiming for day 2.
Steven, if you make top 8, man, oh my gosh.
I'm not gonna make top 8. God no.
Hey, imagine.
Not with that attitude.
I don't want to make top 8.
Steven,
I don't want to.
you're going on the top 8. No, it's okay.
I don't
want to
really
go.
want to be on the stream at all. I feel like I would crap my pants. Like I would be so scared.
Put you on, right? You know that, right? Like the commentators pick. I talked to Chip about it one time.
Really?
They're gonna have to put
they
me on
pick?
round 1 then if they want that. But like
the commentators pick, and if as a player, you're not allowed to tell them no. The moment you sign up for the tournament, you sign a consent
no.
on Arcanine. You are in it, and you can't tell them no.
I didn't know the commentators pick. Wow, so they get the pick, and you can't refuse.
Yeah, you can't tell them no that you don't want to.
I feel like I would act a fool up there. I feel like if I had a bad hand and like it'd be like the episode of The Office. Like I would just like have a terrible hand. Like the stream can see it right now. I would just be like.
You just look at the camera dead eye.
I just look at the camera like.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be a meme for the rest of your career as a Pokemon player, right?
Like just like.
Really?
Just give him the stink eye, like. Raise your eyebrows a few times.
On the reverse side, if you get a really good
You're not allowed
hand.
to say no. Come on.
No, you can't say no.
On the reverse
when you
side,
sign up for a tournament, you know how you checked a box before you hit next to go to the payment?
Yeah, but no one reads that.
Oh,
that's the catch.
I mean, it's part of like TPCI play documents, anyways, and policies and whatnot. So.
Oh, this is gonna be so scary.
Yeah, they're gonna pick you and put you on. There's no way they don't. You're new. You're popular.
Got 04, so they can't.
I mean,
like
round
said,
1.
They'll grab you early. They'll grab you early on.
I mean, also too, like round 9,
Newcomer,
they usually pick
Lindsay
win-ins anyways, instead of like the high seeds that always ID. So
imagine picking a game and imagine picking that as a game, and they say, "Hey, you want ID?" Yeah, and they shake hands and it's over. Like, well, that happened. So yeah,
Teaser, I'm frozen. Why did you freeze me?
You're frozen.
I'm like angry.
There we go. You're back.
Oh god, I'm clipping that. That's gonna be
Lindsay wasn't frozen. That's you. That's your fault.
It's not me.
Of course not. But no, I think we're about done here, aren't we? Close to wrapping it up.
Yeah, we got a couple questions from the Twitch chat. If you're watching this live on Twitch, hi, we love you. Thank you. If you're watching later on YouTube or listening on Spotify, we're always live on either Gazer's channel or myself. Every other week we alternate and we take turns asking questions from the chat or reading questions that are asked from the chat. If I could even speak for myself, man, woo! Not a lot of questions tonight, but we have one from X Tangram. What is the single prize deck profile that you feel is worth having?
Rapid Strike Malamar.
I mean, that's
yeah. I feel like it's the only purely consistent like game-winning one. There's other cool things, but again, are they gonna win games? I don't know.
There's tons of awesome, really cool, fun single prize decks. I mean, like the Leon's Charizard is.
Leon's art is fun.
Is I feel like.
I found myself having fun with the little baby Rapid Strike. Single Strike Urshifu.
Mm-hmm.
I found that deck is fun.
I mean,
but yeah,
for anybody who's
something viable
followed me for a while, we used to do the single prize tournaments almost every other week.
Oh, the stupid single prize
showdowns
ones
on the weekends.
Are they coming back?
And no, I don't have time. I don't have time anymore. I honestly wish I could. I have a lot more fun casting and commentating locals and making content out of that than I do running the tournaments.
Now, what about some sort
running an online tournament is honestly it's more of a pain in the butt than it is to run a local tournament.
Well, your quote unquote local is what about 30 minutes away from you?
I drive an hour.
An hour away. Sorry, so it's an hour away.
I mean, I wish you guys could see the actual store. They care so much. The owner is such a nice guy.
Wait, you told me that. You said they have everything set up.
And there's like there's glass cases of cards for Pokemon. There's a whole separate side just for Magic, and then there's like these giant toolbox chests that are labeled with stickers that are high quality printed with the set name, and all the cards are sorted all the way back until black and white base set, and then they have a box of like even older stuff. So like, okay, cool, I'm building a GLC deck, and I need this, and this, and this, and this, and this. And they're like, cool, you have it. And not a lot of places like do that or care that much to have that kind of inventory.
I mean, the fact they asked you to cast a tournament and they have everything set up for you, and they send you down into, is it the basement or are you in an attic?
We call it the dungeon.
The dungeon.
Yeah,
they send you down to the dungeon.
It will be remodeled sometime later this year, so that'll be pretty cool.
But hey, touching back on our single prize decks, what about something like Control, like Zoroark? You think that ever make a splash anywhere?
I mean, like, look at Sander. He's just like so good with any of those archetypes that he comes up with.
Yeah, so I guess that's technically a single prize deck, right? I mean, there's the one
of
Eldegoss.
There's no profile for it in advance for anybody. Like, those just come out for the event. They do good, and then like the next time you see him playing a completely different control deck. Like true. This weekend, he played the Umbreon VMAX control deck. Like, I never saw that come with the Sun and Moon badge. I read that card before. I was like, oh, this is bull. Get out of here.
Which I have a question about the Sun and Moon badge. So Sun and Moon badge, it doesn't the Pokemon doesn't get affected by supporters like targeting that Pokemon, right? So if you have them on the bench, say you have two of them on the bench, two Umbreon VMAXs with the Sun and Moon badge on it, if you get Avery'd and if you pick the Umbreons, do they get discarded? Can you pick the Umbreons?
I think you can, and I don't think they would get discarded.
That's a supporter. The effective supporter would discard.
Let me double check and read the actual text.
Linty out here asking the real questions. Wow.
Yeah,
I have been losing sleep wondering that.
Those are the real questions right there. Students doing the research on it.
If the Pokemon V this card attached to has Espeon or Umbreon in its name, blah, blah, blah. Whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to that Pokemon. So, yeah, I mean, it's...
Now, are you the one choosing?
I think the effect is on
because we're choosing Umbreon
just from reading it. So if you chose the Umbreon, they are discarding because we chose Umbreon. Have the effect on you, not the Pokemon.
If the opponent got to choose, then it'd be different, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because it can't get bossed.
Yes. If the opponent would make the decision, then it wouldn't matter. Mm-hmm. But because you're the one actively making that choice, they would get yeeted.
Interesting. Okay. We had another question.
Sleep again.
We had another question.
It all comes down to the wording of the cards and like how it's broken down. But yeah, they're not safe from Avery, unfortunately.
Got it.
Okay, we had another question pop up. This is from Dwayner83. Or is it Donner83? Dwayner83. What do you think will shift in the meta with Astral Radiance coming in?
Everything.
Yeah. It's a huge set.
You think so?
There's so many playable cards. Yeah.
So many good. good
we'll have
cards.
less like, because I mean, like everybody gravitates to Arceus V-Star because it's clearly like the best V-Star that we have, and then now there's these other ones that are coming out that are pretty good in their own rights. So I feel like we'll see a lot of different diversity going forward. Like I really like Palkia so far from looking ahead. And I mean, I kind of wrote off like Lilligant, but people are talking about it again.
Well, because you can use that with Gardenia. So by turn
I
two,
mean,
you get everything charged up.
Gardenia isn't limited just to your grass Pokemon though.
Yeah, it's not. But I mean,
so you can
the Lilligant grabs what's grab up to 5 grass Pokemon or grass energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so you can just get the energy you need, and then Gardenia, and you're good to go. So I can see the combo there. I think everybody's excited for the Darkrai though, aren't they?
Darkrai's gonna be good.
I think it's gonna be good, but it's like I feel like at the same time we're gonna see more grass decks blow up now.
I feel like I feel like a lot of grass.
Time to shine.
I mean, maybe. I mean, it's weak to grass. It's not weak to fighting, so it doesn't go into that whole.
Dust off my Leafeon and bring them back out.
I feel like Leafeon will have a new breath of life in it. Honestly, like with Gardenia, and I can see a turn 2 using the second attack, thanks to Gardenia, and like a turn 1. Oh man, what's the ability on the regular Leafeon be? Brain farting on the name of it, but the accelerate energy from the deck.
Oh yeah, grab 1 grass, attach it. Yeah.
I feel like instead of Darkrai though, I feel like just Dark Patch is just.
Oh my gosh!
Now open up.
Now I'm excited about that.
Other options.
I'm excited about Dark Patch.
I mean, with Darkrai using Dark Patch, obviously Arceus and the baby Moltres, you can get a crap ton of Dark energies out.
Yeah, you can ramp up really quick. I feel like E-Turn maybe could rear its ugly head unless people start playing more Collapse Stadium again.
Even with E-Turn, it could still hit 150. So still a 2-hit knockout on most. I guess not. Never mind. I was trying to talk myself into it.
There's so many things that can really disrupt E-Turn.
Yeah, but I don't know. My thought was, even if you knock everything, knock them down to 5 on the bench, you can still hit 150. Attach a choice belt, 182 shots, a lot of stuff. E-Turn's thick enough to handle 2 shots itself, but Collapse Stadium
it's got 340 HP.
Yeah.
So,
but Collapse Stadium is just too much. I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tanky.
Now,
could we see
even Path drops it down?
Could we see like Cheryl in E-Turn, like crazy spice?
Cheryl, and then you turn around and use 2 dark patches.
E-Turn, just not even anything else. Just a bench full of Eternatus.
Attach a big charm.
Big hog, 370 HP. Yeah.
Tankiest.
Yeah.
Then Cheryl.
Then at that point, like even an Urshifu is not going to one shot it.
I'll start working on that list right now.
There you go, Gazer. There's your next project.
Gotcha. I think that's all the questions from the chat that I see.
Yeah, so at this point, the floor is yours, Lindsay. Any shout-outs you want to give, any recognition to anybody out there, any plugs that you want for yourself and your content, your socials, have at it.
I have to shout out the Shuffle Squad, first and foremost. Love all those people to death. But you can find the YouTube. It's youtube.com/The Shuffle Squad. Let's see, what else? Twitch. My Twitch, twitch.tv/Linty_Rose Cup. I mean, that's really all I got.
Yeah, we'll have all the links that you want in the card on the Spotify and all that nonsense.
The YouTube and everything. This will be on Spotify tomorrow night, probably? Tomorrow mid-afternoon?
Yeah. This morning.
Oh, excuse
tonight,
me.
tomorrow morning, whatever. If I'm quick enough, yeah.
You work hard. And then this should be on YouTube
Wednesday.
So yeah, if you guys are hearing this on YouTube, hello. Quick shout out to a buddy of mine, Doubles. He's been topping a lot of tournaments. He's good friends with Lindsay. She didn't give him a shout out, so I'll give it to him.
Listen, we were talking about me first starting, I feel like, and we started talking about the locals. Doubles just recently moved to the area, so Doubles is a local player of mine.
There we go. There's the love for Doubles. Also, shout out to just yourself, Stupid. I appreciate what you do for us, man, making this podcast work. Episode 4, I feel like we're getting better and better at this. What do you think, man?
I feel like we're kind of scuffed this week. I'm not going to lie, Gazer. What? I still love you, bro. It's okay.
We're going to work it out, man. Don't worry about it. That's what editing's for.
Yeah.
But no, anything else you guys want to touch on or say?
No, I'm good.
Lindsay?
I am good. I'm just excited for Indy. I hope to meet a lot of people there. If you see me, recognize me, feel free to say hey. I'm really awkward in person, so if I act all weird, it's not you, it's me.
Whatever.
The age-old line. But yeah, that'll do it from us here at the Gust of Wind podcast. Thanks for watching, listening, asking questions, and please give us some reviews on Apple and Spotify to help push it out there a little bit further. I can't tell you to give us a 5-star review, but if you did, I would read your review on stream.
5 stars. All right,
Gazer, take it away.
Yeah, that does it. We are out of here. Appreciate you guys listening, the support and everything like that. For Gazering 2K, Steuben, and the Linty Rose Cup, this was the Gust of Wind podcast. We are out of there. See ya.
See ya.
Peace.